Hi guys and girls, it's Russ from RussHotPTI.com. Today I just want to quickly talk about muscle building magazines. Now, there was a guy came to my gym about 3 months ago, and I took him around for his induction, showed him how the equipment worked and stuff, and I remember being blown away by this guy's enthusiasm and drive, and I remember thinking he's going to get some great results, because you could tell, the look in his eye, you could tell he wasn't just there to mess around, you know. And then we didn't see him after that for about 3 weeks. I mean, luckily since then, you know, it's been 3 months, he came back and he's got results. But the other day, I was asking him what happened in those 3 weeks, because I thought he'd be back in the next day, you know, he was that enthusiastic. And I assumed he was going to say that he was ill, but what he actually said shocked me a little bit. He said, you know what, Russ, I went home, I bought one of those muscle building magazines from the newsagents, thinking I'm going to learn some exercises and learn what I'm doing, and it just completely killed my motivation. Confused the hell out of the guy. You know, it does happen. I've always said a lot of these things complicate the hell out of things when it could be described a lot more simple, which is what we try and do on our page and on our YouTube channel. But a lot of these magazines will do that, and basically it killed his motivation for about 2 or 3 weeks, and he was just explaining to me what happened and what it did. So I figured we'll try and do a video and help maybe other people that have gone through this, or if you know someone that's got one of these things and it's just completely turned all of that confidence and excitement they had about going and building a better body into doubt. It does happen, because you look at it, and the number one thing which Pete said was he looked at the cover and he felt a bit like it was misleading. Now, I'm not talking about bodybuilding magazines, which are aimed at bodybuilders. I'm talking about the growing trend of magazines which are aimed at regular guys and girls, just regular people who want to build a better physique. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? If you go to your newsagents, you'll have a look on the shelves and you'll see them, tons of them now, and they usually look a bit generic. You know, there's like a white cover, black and white picture of a guy or a girl with their abs out, and some headlines saying, you know, get this within a week, or build bigger arms without doing any exercise. And what people were saying as well is there was so much conflicting advice in this magazine that it turned all that excitement he had into kind of doubt, kind of thinking, everyone's saying different things, you know what, I'm not going to bother. And a couple of other things which we'll get to later on as well, which I really want to cover on this subject as well, so don't let me forget. See, the thing about the conflicting advice, I mean, what people said to me was, on page 25, it would tell them, you know, don't do crunches for your abs because they're bad for developing your stomach. Then on page 200, there was an ultimate ab workout, and it had those crunches in. So he's like, you know, this is the same magazine and it's contradicting itself, as well as a bunch of other stuff. And I was trying to explain the articles that you see in these magazines now, they're not written by the same guy. If they were, it would be a bit ridiculous to contradict like that. But a lot of the articles are written by guest writers, and there is not one set way of training, right? So what I would suggest is learn the basics about nutrition and how to train, get yourself a program that's working for you, and then from there you'll notice you kind of go off in your own direction. There's thousands of different ways that you can get results through your diet or through your training. People have completely different opinions, and that's what a lot of these things are, just opinions. I'm sure it's not the magazine's intention to scare people off, to confuse them into just thinking, you know what, I'll quit. Because at the end of the day, their career is from you going to the gym and wanting to learn things, so, you know, it shouldn't be having a reverse effect, but it does sometimes. Just because it's either conflicting like that, or it overcomplicates the hell out of things. Not just training, but nutrition. It gives off the impression that you've got to be some kind of biochemical engineer or scientist just to learn how to build some muscle. It really isn't like that, guys, honestly. A lot of them give off the impression that it has to take over your life. And I guess, you know, if you look through them, you'll see what I mean. You get the idea that you've got to be some guy living in a perfect little white room with loads of containers of food in front of you, just looking at the clock, waiting for your next meal or your next workout. If you've got a family, right, I mean, I'm a fitness instructor myself, I love the gym, but I've got 2 kids at home. Life is not like that. It is not like that. You know, there's times where I love training and I love doing my diet and everything, but I've literally got to just fit it in when I can some days, and I'd hate to live like that. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why. But at the end of the day, they do have to fill a whole issue every single month. So they are going to go ridiculously in depth. So if you're just brand new and you're picking one of these things up, it's not surprising that you might look at it and think, what the hell? This guy's talking about protein synthesis. I just want to know what a bicep curl is, you know? So it could have that reverse effect like it did with Pete and I'm sure countless others, which is just nonsense. We don't want that crap. I mean, I'm sure the magazine doesn't want it either, right? They'd lose income. And like I say, there's tons of different ways you can train. If there was just one, well, they'd all be out of business. You know, you'd only need to buy one issue and then done, right? So every month, you're going to get them telling you different things, telling you, oh, this is the new thing to do, this is the new way of training, this is the new superfood or supplement, which we'll get to in a second. And they're going to keep doing that, so I would suggest just learn the basics. You can even just watch the videos on our channel. We'll teach you the basics of how to get your diet sorted for just building some muscle or losing fat. And the basics of a good training program, you know, why it's important to train legs, that sort of thing. From there, this will make a bit more sense after that, because you'll kind of know, you'll have a foundation to build upon, whereas if you try taking all this thing in one go, you'll be like, oh, this guy says this and this guy says that, because they're training different ways for different things. So you'll be able to see, oh, well, I don't really agree with that because I'm not training for that type of thing, so I'm going to listen to this one. This makes more sense to me, and that's how you just form your opinion. A lot of it, beyond the basics, comes down to your personal point of view, right? The supplement reviews you see in there as well, the one that people show me in his, we're laughing about this because a lot of them are ads. If you want to buy a supplement and it looks good, again, a lot of the confusion is removed when you just learn what to look for. You learn about your nutrition a little bit. You don't have to go in depth like a scientist, like these things will often make out. A lot of that will remove the hype and the confusion of what to buy and what works. But when you're looking at reviews in magazines, a lot of them are just more like ads. You know, people show me one where they give some protein supplement 3 out of 5, which, you know, in my book, I would say 3 out of 5 means it's decent, right? It's good. It's not going to change the world, but it's all right. And he showed me the definitions of the marks, and 5 out of 5 meant brilliant, 4 out of 5 meant good. 3 out of 5 actually meant there's no scientific research to really back up what these claims are, and there was no 2-star, no 1-star, and no 0-star. And I was like, so they've given it the bottom score, but it actually gives off a bit of a false impression unless you read the tiny little small print at the bottom telling you. So a lot of them, I don't know if that was an ad or a genuine review. To me, it sounds more like an ad because, you know, they're basically saying there's no research for it, but it still gives off the impression that it's pretty good. So if you want to buy a supplement, I would suggest either learning the basics will help, or go online and find real people that are using it and they'll give you at least an honest opinion. You will find some people who are literally just, they've jumped in, they've used it for 2 weeks and went, oh, it doesn't work. But, you know, you're going to find that in anything, right? Just look for people who are serious and people who are dedicated to the gym. They'll be able to tell you an honest opinion. Otherwise, you know, companies ain't going to get tired of taking your money if you're going to keep letting them, right? So yeah, learn just the foundation. You don't have to go crazy. It does not have to take over your life. And then from there, those magazines will have the effect they're supposed to. You know, they'll let you build on your knowledge a little bit month by month, rather than just devouring your enthusiasm and saying, you know what, I'm just going to quit. I'm no scientist. I'm no bodybuilder. That sucks. We don't want that to happen, guys and girls. So I think that's where a lot of them go wrong. They aim it at regular people, but they keep over-complicating it and conflicting and just throwing people off. You've got to bear in mind as well, though, they will have a long-standing membership base. They can't just write the basics every single month, you know, because some of them are in their 10th, 15th years, and if you're just jumping in now, you know, they'll have had members buying that thing for years who want to know a little bit more than the basics. So just don't let it get you down, you know, don't let it get you down. It's not confusing to build muscle or lose weight. But if you're looking at stuff like that, I can understand why it would seem that way. So I just wanted to do a video to kind of reassure some people, so that what happened to Pete doesn't happen to you. Yeah, look, he escaped. He just thought, you know what, screw it, and came back and got results. And now he's looking great. But some people, I just worry that it will put them off completely. which in my job is definitely what you don't want. Alright, anyway, thanks very much for stopping by. I hope this video has helped you. If you know anyone that this is happening to them, feel free to share it with them. I think you can do that by hitting Facebook and Twitter and stuff. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.